Presenting her union budget for 2021, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had significant announcements to make both for the MSME community and the startup community. Hi, I'm Pranbyonga Barpujari, and I will tell you all the details about what's in it for MSMEs and what's in it for startups. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had quite a lot of announcements to make when it came to the MSME and startup segment of the country. The first among it was amendments to the Factoring Act, which would allow NBFCs to now be a part of TReDS. TReDS is the invoice discounting platform, and the participants of NBFCs is expected to increase the number of players who are there on TReDS. This will also take care of a lot of working capital requirement that MSMEs continuously face. The second big announcement was the finance minister said the government is moving ahead to have a unified procurement system for the government e-marketplace, which we also know as GEM. This is expected to be a significant move, and we've always heard the MSME Minister Nitin Gadkari talking about creating a Alibaba type of platform from India, and this is a significant move in that regard. The second again is around working capital requirements of MSMEs. The finance minister now says she'll create a provision where MSMEs can raise subordinate debts. These will come from banks and will be quasi-equity in nature and will of course be fully guaranteed under the CGT MSE scheme. Next on announcements were a lot of restructuring of debt has taken place in the past 1 year, and these are bank debts, and it's expected to get over on March 31st, 2020. This window is now expected to be extended till March 31st, 2021, and the government is expected to ask RBI to make a provision for that. Also, in order to reduce the compliance burden on retailers, small traders, the audit limit, which is set at 1 crore, the turnover audit limit, which is set at 1 crore, is now expected to be raised to 5 crore. This again will be a lot easier to comply for a lot of SMEs. So when it comes to SMEs per se, all the moves seem to be primarily targeted at easing working capital requirements and fixes here and there. What remains to be seen is if this can lead to a change in the investment patterns. That seems to be a little difficult with the kind of announcement that we have seen today. And another big issue which remains the liquidity and the credit availability for MSMEs, that does not seem to have been addressed. On the startup front, two big announcements. One, ESOPs. ESOPs would now be taxable at the hands of an employee after 5 years, or after the person leaving the company, or when they decide to sell their shares, whichever is earlier. Currently, ESOPs are taxed as and when they are given to an employee. So that's one big change, and that's what the startup sector has been asking for quite some time. Last point on startups is that the turnover to claim 100% deduction from exemption from profit was earlier allowed only for companies up to 25 crore, but now that's been extended to 100 crore so that middle stage startups can also benefit from it. And also the ceiling or the period to claim it, which was earlier set at 7 years, has now been increased to 10 years. So these are two key announcements for startups. Not very significant. There are still some issues in the startup domain which haven't been addressed, but these two announcements should make life easier for the startup community.